A systemic failure by Dreamworld in relation to all aspects of safety. Damning words from the Queensland Coroner James McDougall today as he blasted the Australian theme park for dangerous failures that led to the Thunder River Rapids disaster in 2016 that claimed 4 lives. After family members of the victims told the court about their loss and the impact they've felt, the coroner said there was shoddy record keeping and no evidence Dreamworld ever conducted a proper risk assessment over 30 years. He also referred the theme park's owner to the Office of Industrial Relations for possible prosecution. ABC journalist Kate McKenna was in court today and spoke to Alex Perrottet after hearing from the families as well as the coroner.
Dreamworld is Australia's largest theme park, and over the course of, it was almost 2 hours, the Southeastern Coroner, James McDougall, he really laid out these litany of failures that he's accused Dreamworld of doing. You know, these ranged from inadequate safety mechanisms. There weren't engineering controls in place, which he said would have been quite inexpensive. And he said that, you know, really the design and the construction of this Thunder River Rapids ride, which was really the most popular ride at Dreamworld, from, you know, you could go on it aged over 2, that it posed a significant risk to patient safety and that the systems were really frighteningly unsophisticated, he said.
Yeah, and then record keeping and document management was dire. The general ignorance of proper safety systems was a recurring theme. There was also this claim that there wasn't a proper risk assessment over 30 years. Now, Kate, I mean, you've probably been on plenty of those rides. I've been on those sorts of rides in Australia as well. It makes you shudder to think about the state of, the other rides at the park and at other parks, perhaps.
Yeah, the coroner kept returning to this point. He was saying that over the course of the 30 years that Dreamworld hadn't engaged anyone internally or externally to do a proper assessment. And while he said that the company itself kept pointing out that there'd been no other injuries or tragedies arising over the 30 years, he said it was just a matter of time.
Then obviously he has referred the owners of the park to possible prosecution and then some type of investigation perhaps into the lead engineer of the park.
Yeah, so he's referred Ardent Leisure, which is the parent company, to the Office of Industrial Relations, and the coroner said that it's reasonably suspected that the park, you know, the company may have committed an offence under the workplace laws. But he said it was ultimately up to the Office of the Industrial Relations about whether a prosecution would arise. That's for them, it's just a referral. And as you mentioned, one of the engineers was also referred to the Board of Engineers.
Right. Now, earlier, before he delivered all of that damning report, and I think there's about 300 pages in the written report as well, you heard from the families. They're still distraught, even 3 years on, of course. What was the mood like in the court?
Oh, it was very sombre. It was very emotional to hear the words from the families. And one of those who attended court today and we heard from personally was Matthew Lowe, who was the husband of Cindy. And he told the court that their heart aches daily as they try to be grateful for the decades they had. So he said they just weren't enough. We also heard from Kim Dorset. She lost her son Luke, her daughter Kate Goodchild, as well as Luke's partner, Ruzi Aragi, and she said that the three of them loved the theme parks on the Gold Coast. The scarier the ride, the better. But she said, you know, she said Kate Goodchild was just the love of many people's lives, and you know, she thanked emergency services, first responders, coroner, and the people of Australia who took, you know, them into their hearts. And yeah, so it was very emotional to hear the words from the families just moments before the coroner began delivering his findings.
And you mentioned Cindy Lowe there, originally from New Zealand, as well as her husband. We believe that her 9-year-old daughter also had some heartfelt things to say.
Yeah, she did. Her dad read out some words from her. He said that she missed her hugs and cakes that she used to make for them. So very sad, and it would be very hard for the families to even put into words how distressing the past 3 years have been.
Kate McKenna from the ABC there.